Hi everyone, this reading's a request and it's on the Idaho 4 murder case. Before I start, I do have to say this is for entertainment purposes only. It's my thoughts and opinions and it shouldn't be treated as fact in any way. So the first thing I get from this is that Brian Koberger, he wasn't acting alone. I feel like he had accomplices rather than one specific person. It wasn't random. There was a specific targeting by a group of people, and I feel like Brian it was almost like he's working on their behalf. I kept getting the feeling that his involvement was in some form of partnership with someone else. There's links to substances and drugs, and I feel like he's part of this surveillance on social media. And I say that because I feel as though there was quite a lot of people in that neighbourhood watching those girls. I keep getting that his involvement was due to some sort of debt. So he owed money, quite substantial, to quite dangerous people. He was possibly threatened, but I do feel there was a debt that he owed someone, and that's how he was involved in this. The accomplice, I get one of the male, probably similar age to Brian or the girls, in the 20s. I feel as though he either should have been or was in the house at the time of the murders. I keep getting that this didn't go to plan. It wasn't supposed to be the way it was, but I just keep getting that there should have been someone else with him in the house at that time. I also keep getting to double check on the timings. There's something about the timings that aren't quite right, and it keeps on coming out. Check the timings, and that feels really, really strong around Ethan and Zana. It comes out really strongly there that, like, check the timings. Okay, and I keep getting this, I'm just going to call it something underground, but it's a bit like a tunnel or a waterway, and I keep getting that, and that I feel has some sort of evidence or links to this group involvement, but it's quite important, and I keep getting it, and it comes through with all 4 of them on these murders, especially strong around Madison for some reason. Okay, so as well as that, with the accomplices, I keep getting a male that's in a powerful position. He sits quite high up in, I'm going to call it a hierarchy. It's a bit like organised crime, a drugs lord, you know, someone like that. I'm not saying the Godfather, but someone who sits quite high up. I think very wealthy family, and there's this involvement in, I keep getting drugs and abuse. So there's this, that's one of the people. And I also keep getting a male, and he's a bit younger. He's probably a similar age to the 4 students. I'm not getting that he's a student, but he hangs around student parties, if you like. I feel like he's more of a social influence rather than someone who they study with. So he would be in the same circles at parties, he would be in the same bars, same houses as well. But I get him all around this as well. I also get, and this sounds really weird because I can't understand it, but I get some form of cult justice. Like, it's as though there's some sort of payback or revenge attack on the 3 girls. 2 of them I get stronger than the other, but there's some sort of revenge. And it goes back to something that they either witnessed or had evidence of. I keep getting that something went missing. There was lots of money involved. Either someone or something went missing. And I keep getting like an accidental crime that was covered over. So I get like something to do with that. In terms of their house specifically where they were murdered, what I keep getting is that there was a bit of a setup, a bit of a staging area. And I keep getting that Brian was somehow involved in that. Like, he was involved, I do believe, in the actual murders themselves, but I also get that he was there to cover things up, to clean the scene, if you like. I'll start with Ethan. I keep getting from him like he wasn't targeted. I don't feel it. I feel like with him it was in essence because he was with Zana. I feel like he was wrong place, wrong time. I don't feel like he had any connection to the perpetrators like the others did. I feel like the connection I get from him is that he was around when the girls were being watched by someone, because I keep on getting the feeling that they were watched on social media, in the neighbourhood, and his connection is simply that he's around at that time. And again, with him specifically, both him and Zana, I keep getting from the cards that there's more than one person involved. So going back to Brian, I do feel as though he had an accomplice that possibly was, but should have been in the house with him at that time. And again, with those two, it's like check the timings, check the timings. So something's off there. With Zana, I get that it didn't go to plan, and I think that might be due to Ethan's presence. I don't know if it was common for him to stay there every night, or why it would be unusual for him to be there, but I don't think they thought about it. Again, a tunnel, waterway, something down there. I feel like with these two, with Zana and Ethan, there's a element of DNA evidence. There's something extra that should be coming out. And again, I get this link back to someone or something went missing with Zana. I don't feel that she's involved in any criminal activity whatsoever. I don't feel like any of the girls are. None of those students. I feel like they're not involved in whatever happened. And there's nothing that could bring their character into disrepute from it. I feel like Zana knew this person, or knew one of them, and I don't think she liked them much. I don't get the feeling it was the type of person that she would choose to hang around with. I think she knew them through bad habits, and again, I'm going to say drugs. I think she knew about them through abuse, and I keep getting with Zana, Kaylee and Madison, they had some form of evidence, I'm going to call it. So they had some form of evidence of abuse or drugs or something going on, and I feel like that could have put someone in prison for quite a long time. And again, I keep coming back to this accident that was covered up and then became a crime. I don't know what that is, but I feel like it's relevant because it goes back to the three girls. With Madison and Kaylee, I get something a bit more emotionally driven than Zana. So I get with those two a lot of jealousy, a lot of anger. Again, I get this group involvement, large sums of money, and the drugs, organised crime thing feels quite a lot stronger with those two. It's like they're closer to the sort of action, I'm going to say, but those two feel a bit closer to it than Zana does, and definitely Ethan as well. I do get the impression that one of them might have had a little, I'm going to call it a fling, because it wasn't a relationship, but I feel like possibly one night, one kiss, something like that, just young people being young people, with someone who was involved with this group. I feel like it's the younger male, but yeah, I don't think that's the reason for it. I also get this party scene, and that's how they're all connected. And this person, the younger person especially, would probably be well known or known of quite widely around the houses or bars on Idaho campus. I keep getting that. I do feel like Madison may have had, I'm getting confrontation, probably standing her ground a bit, I think. And there's all these fake social media accounts as well that's following her. With Kaylee, I do get like really strong anger towards her. I feel like she was the primary target, and with her, that's where I get the connection to this high, I'm going to call him high profile, he's not really, but like a powerful man, and I feel like the connection comes from Kaylee. I can't figure out how, but she's upset this, you know, this powerful man, this powerful person. I'm basically going to call him a drugs boss or something like that, but she's upset him, and I keep getting loose lips sink ships. Now, I don't know whether she actually has said anything or she's been talking to anyone, but it feels like she had the potential to speak to someone, and it could have been really damaging for this person. I also keep getting with Kaylee that nothing's quite as it seems with her. Like there's this big web of lies, and it almost feels like there's still a lot to be uncovered about her life. I feel like there may be things found out about the young women that I don't think their parents would like, but I don't think it's anything like I don't feel it's anything more than young women, students being students, but I feel as though there's going to be quite an attack on their character, possibly around the court case. I do get around Kaylee as well that she's took some sort of risk, and I don't know whether that's talking or something, but she's took this risk and there's this money involved. With the other two, I think it was Dylan and Bethany, they weren't harmed. With Bethany, I get that she was just out of the picture anyway, she wasn't there, and for whatever reason I get that these two didn't have this same connection. They were all housemates, they were all friends, but I feel like at some point they've been in separate groups, and that's why Dylan and Bethany weren't as involved. I don't feel as though they're as connected or have this link to this group of people that Zana, Madison and Kaylee all have. I feel like it's like a friend of a friend, to them. Dylan, I don't feel she was killed. I don't feel like she was, I'm going to say, part of the plan anyway, but I also feel like the person she saw was part of some sort of cleanup operation. I feel like his work was done and he was just on his way out. Yeah, I don't feel like there was any intention. I do feel she was genuinely petrified by it. But again, I feel like not phoning the police actually there and then, it was something that she was quite used to in the house. I feel like she thought it would have been someone who was visiting one of the other girls, locked herself in the bedroom, and I feel this is part of where things might come to light that wouldn't put the other girls in the best light. They may have had parties with sort of unsavoury characters or whatever in the house, but I do feel it was genuine. She locked the door and thought, oh God, you know, they've invited someone back again. I don't think she thought at any point when she locked that door and went to bed that someone had, you know, done anything. Definitely not murdered her housemates. I don't feel as though she recognised the person. I don't feel as though it's someone she would have called a friend, someone she would know casually. I don't get that. I just feel like it's a pattern she was used to, and she suspected one of the other housemates had brought them back and thought, you know what, I'm locking my door now. Bethany, yeah, out of sight completely. She's on a different floor. I don't feel as though Bethany and Dylan, I feel like they went out with the other three housemates, but I feel like there was this other circle of friends that they weren't really connected to. I don't think either of them were ever part of this targeted attack. I don't. The police, why they didn't call them, I keep getting a number of reasons for that. To me, I feel like it was, I don't think they went to sleep early, so probably didn't get up too late. With calling them friends round, I don't know. I can't get my head around that one. And I do feel they were scared. I do get this overwhelming sense of fear, and I don't think it's just fear of anyone else being in the house or what's happened. I feel as though there's this fear that if they tell the police, they're going to get blamed for something as well. I do feel like there's something that they're not saying. There's an extra piece of information there, but I feel like that is because they're really, they're petrified, especially Dylan. And I also get the feeling that even though they're not friends with the people who planned or were behind this attack, I feel as though they're still being watched by them in some way. But I don't get the feeling that Bethany or Dylan had anything to do with this. In terms of the trial, what I keep getting is the Brian Kohlberger, and I don't know if he's delusional or if he's been brainwashed in some way, but I keep getting the feeling that he actually believes he's going to get away with this, and I think he feels it's going to happen because of some sort of procedural error or evidence being thrown out, something along those lines. But in his head, he genuinely feels that this is going to go away, kind of thing. I feel he's going to be shocked with the verdict and the sentence that he's given. He's not expecting it, and he does have the capability to actually implicate other people in this, because again, it's just not alone random attack. I feel there's a female he could implicate as well at part of a couple, but there's definitely other people that he could start talking about and implicate in this. At the trial, and even later, I don't feel as though he's going to start talking, because like I said, I feel like he owed a debt to someone and he was scared of these people too. I don't feel as though he'll actually start talking until he's given the death penalty or he's had his sentence read to him. I think it'll be then, that's when he'll reveal more information. But yeah, I'm going to leave that one there. It's not a case that I know a lot about. If anyone does have anything they think is relevant or anything they think I should do further reading on, then just let me know in the comments below. Thanks.